Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Turing Machine. I loaded up another game, just hard difficulty with 5 verifiers. Seems like a decent default to hang out at. I'll try Nightmare one of these days, and I'll do another Extreme one of these days, but it kind of stinks having to set it up myself. Plus it's like a lot of mental juggling to do. So I'm going to stick with this for now. The code to play along should be in the description, but if it's not, it's right here, so you can copy that. At turingmachine.info. And if you want to pause the video, now's the time, because I'm about to get started. Let's see what's going on here. We have a unique smallest number, color, I guess. Tests whether a color is less than 4 or at least 4. These two could be identifying the same number, but it's unlikely. In fact, it's impossible because then this one wouldn't give us any information. Wait. No, that's... Never mind. I got that backwards. If this were testing like 4 or... Well... Right. If this identifies that a color is 4 or greater, then this can't also point to the same color because then this would be redundant, but... Okay, fine. Test that the color is even or odd. Okay. And the comparison of yellow to something. Well, it can't tell us that yellow is smaller than any of its anything else because... Well, sorry. It can, but not... No. If this were telling us yellow is the smallest... No, that just can't be, right? Because there would be no way for this to tell us anything unique. So one other thing is I made a little edit to the save where I imported the decals from Planet X. So, I mean, also someone mentioned in the comments, like if you lock these objects, which would be fine because we're not, here's an example. You actually can draw on these, but only if the objects are locked. So I could have, I could lock them and do this. But instead I imported decals, and they're kind of handy, right? So we know it's not saying that yellow is uniquely smallest. Because, again, if it were... This would have to tell us yellow is less than something, and we would already know that. That tells us that purple or blue is uniquely smallest, which is interesting. So, it seems most likely then that we'll be testing for yellow to be greater than something, but that's no guarantee. Just because, like, half of the time, sort of, the number we're comparing yellow to will be the number that's uniquely smallest. But that's obviously not something we can bank on. Having to know that something is greater than 1 is interesting. Let's see. I'm sure you can make a million more deductions here. But I don't know what any of them are. So let's explore D and E and B in round 1. For example, if we found that purple is greater than or equal... If we found that purple or blue were not being tested for less than 3, that would be pretty exciting. Or we're being... Oh, no, hang on. It's impossible for this to tell us that a number is 4 or greater. Right. It might be that a number is 4 or greater, but not the one this is testing for. And so it can never tell us that a number is greater than 4. Right. The fact that we know there is a unique smallest number means that there can't be a verifier testing. Well, there can't be 2 1s. Because then there would be no unique number. Why is that relevant? Because if this told us, no, there is no, this could never tell us that something is equal to 1. It just tells us which number is greater than 1. I keep getting confused about that. But, right. Hang on. Can we conclude that yellow is definitely greater than 1? And therefore this can't tell us that? We know yellow is not the smallest. It's not the unique smallest. And I was claiming that there can't be 2 1s. But maybe that's not true. Maybe either... No. There is a unique smallest. We know that. So there can't be 2 1s. Why do I think that's important? Okay, the point is nothing to do with there being 2 1s. The point is if yellow is the smallest, we know it's greater than... is not the smallest. And there is a unique smallest. Yellow can't be 1. Which means that we don't need to be told this. So that can't be what this is telling us. So either purple or blue is greater than 1. Quite possibly both. But certainly at least one of them. I wonder why we need to know the parity of a specific color. I mean, there's a lot of reasons we could end up needing that, I guess. Okay. So C is looking like maybe not a great one to test because it might be telling us... Well, I mean... At least if we hit C, we can get some guaranteed information. Something is greater than 1. Could E tell us that yellow is smaller than blue or purple? Obviously, at a glance, that doesn't seem impossible. But suppose it told us that blue is less than yellow. Then we would know strictly the ordering in which these things are, right? If E told us blue is less than yellow, well, we know that purple is even smaller. No. Yes. No. We know yellow isn't the smallest. So if yellow is less than something, then the other one must be even smaller. Yes, that's correct. So if this says yellow is less than blue, then purple is the smallest, and we have them all completely ordered. Purple, yellow, blue. Which would rule out one of these, because we could already say definitely that one of them is less than 4. Well, no, because we could deduce which one of them is less than 4. We could deduce that one of them was less than 4, but we might need the information that one of the others is less than 4. Would it rule anything out here? Not quite, because the fact that yellow... Or wait. Yeah, if I get them all ordered, if I get told the order they're in, then C would be redundant, because I would know... would it? I would know already that 2 of them are greater than 1. But it might be telling me about the third one. I mean, it would have to be telling me about the third one, right? And then knowing that might be necessary to get the solution down to a single possibility. So if the smallest number then were at least 2... But then B would be useless, right? No. Because it could be necessary to help me rule out whether yellow is 3 or 4. If I knew the smallest one was at least 2, yellow was in the middle, I would still need some help confirming whether yellow is 3 or 4, perhaps. So I don't think I can quite rule out that yellow is greater than something, but it's... Or less than something? God, this game's too confusing. Less. But it seems like it would be difficult, right? For yellow to be less than something. So I think what I want to do is aim at a part of E that doesn't include yellow being less than something. For example, these 2, yellow being the biggest. I think that's the most likely to be a hit. And if it's a miss, then I'll know we're in one of these 4 and probably not one of these 2. So that kind of maximizes the information we get out of this question in a way. So I want yellow to be the biggest number in my first question. So let's try like 5, 3, yeah, like, I don't know, like this. Okay, remind me why I know it can't be telling me yellow is greater than 1. It's been so long I've forgotten. Yellow can't be uniquely smallest, but there is a unique smallest. And that's why. From just that, I can tell that yellow is greater than 1. Okay. So I want for B that only one of these is less than 4, which I have. And then I guess for D, any old query is fine. So 354 seems like a decent first question, even though, as usual, I'm sure I missed some deductions I could make. Let's test E first, because it just seems exciting. X. Oops, wrong tool there. So this isn't what I expected. I expected, I think, or no. The point is I thought they were each about equally likely. So we aren't testing that yellow is the greatest. So let's just put a big fat no. Can I shrink decals? Yes. On those 2. And D still seems important. No. So We can't be checking for yellow or blue odd. Or purple even. Okay. And lastly, I think I said B, right? That's, I mean, yeah. That makes the most sense, I think. So we can't be testing that blue is less than 4. Right? Right. Okay. A decent round 1, I feel. E is clearly the one to focus on most. Because it still has 4 possibilities. Although I suspect these 2 are least likely. So maybe the thing to do then is to say, given what I've just learned, is it possible to rule these out now when I couldn't before? So if I had one of these, I would have all the numbers perfectly sorted. I would know one of them is greater than 1. But that, I'm not sure how helpful that is. I mean, it would mean the numbers have to be like 234 or 235 or 245. There would only be 3 possibilities now that I look at it, right? From just A, C, and E. Yeah, that's an interesting point. So would B and D be able to narrow it down exactly, or would they over-determine it? Knowing the parity of either of them, well, if I, doesn't seem that easy. If I knew purple were the lowest, I couldn't know also that it was odd, because then I would have 3, 4, 5, and I wouldn't need B. But I think I could still know some other stuff, right? Like knowing yellow is even wouldn't really help. I would know it's 4, but the others could be 2 or 5, and then... Well, wait a minute. Does this tell me something? If... If I knew purple were the lowest... then this wouldn't be telling me anything based on what I already have. But this would... Obviously, this is impossible, but... This... Okay. This would be telling me yellow is less than 4, which would... If I knew purple were the lowest, I would definitely already know it's not 4. It's not this one. So I would know yellow's less than 4, which would make the code... Yellow 3. Oh no, but I don't know which one. Right. I was trying to prove that C is unnecessary, but I've been using C the whole time in this inference that the smallest one is at least 2. Because I know the code if purple were the smallest. By the way, did I test the wrong thing again? I keep getting confused about what these are. I think I thought that I was likely to get a hit on this, is what it was. Why? I don't know. But if yellow is less than something, right, that's why I want to rule out this possibility, because I still think it's unlikely for yellow to be less than something. But I can't really disprove it. Let's try ignoring D for a bit. If yellow were less than something, and I knew which thing, obviously, and I needed C, then I would know, like, I'd have 2, 3, 5, or 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5, and I would know which one. B could only help me out if it were pointing at yellow. So yellow would have to be 3, or else B couldn't say anything. Which means I would know the lowest number, which here we're assuming is purple, is 2. And then I would know everything except the parity of the smallest, or of the biggest number. So that actually seems like exactly enough information if this tells me yellow is less than something. Actually, like, no, I don't know. Yeah, that actually seems totally possible. That's kind of cool. Okay, well, fair enough. I still think I want to narrow it down to one column instead of one row. Well, maybe not. You know, I guess in another sense, it's also unlikely that it's going to tell me yellow is equal to something, now that I think about it, right? Obviously, that's telling me one of those 4 things, but if it says yellow is equal to something, then I'll know the other one is uniquely smallest. So, like, what if it told me yellow is equal to purple? I'd know both of them are less than 4, obviously. And blue would be even smaller, because it would have to be uniquely smallest. I don't know, that seems possible. Huh. I'm not like missing something where if I'm told this, then A is redundant, right? That seems crazy. If I know yellow is less than blue, then through A I know the order things are in, but that doesn't make A redundant somehow. Okay. Well, let's try to hit E, D, and I don't know. C? No, C seems lame. B. B, C, E. B, D, E. The same ones I hit in the first one. Oh man, that feels stupid. But I'll just hit them with different questions. So let's try testing purple is less than 4. And I can't really have a test that yellow is equal to purple while asking that question, because then B would not give me any information. Nor would D. Well, D would be fine. So let's test yellow equal to blue, which makes D, I mean, it's fine. I can hit either these two or this one, you know, whatever. So let's just test yellow is equal to blue, and I don't really care what they are. I think 5s are both fine. Didn't I say I wanted to test B? Yes, that's what I'm doing with purple. Okay, sure. I'll ask this. I'm out of clever ideas. So 552. Tell me all about it. Delta. X. What was I testing? X? Delta. Delta gave me an X. Which means I've forgotten how to brain. Okay. Oh, this is... Shoot, I wasn't supposed to do this. I already know the answer. This is exactly... Okay, I'm going to pretend I didn't ask that question because it's stupid. That's cheating, but that's all right. It's my video. I can do what I want. Because these are exactly the same parodies I tested last time. Any... How is 5... God. I mean, 442 should be useful, right? Because then a hit would be one of these two. A miss would be this one. A hit would be yellow is equal to blue. Oh, or... I need to be careful, actually, about how I'm hitting E. Whoops. I should make it be less than purple, which is hard. So like this. Here I can tell whether it's testing the yellow is less than purple or equal to blue, so one of these two. Here I'm testing... Oh, but then... Ugh, okay, 2, 2, 3? Why is it so hard to make a good query? No, because then it still won't tell me... Okay. 1, 1, 3? Because now a yes would be here, a no would be here. On this, a yes would be here or here. And Bravo was the other one I wanted to test. That would be no good because they're all less than 4. So let's test Charlie instead. It would test this or this. Yeah, that seems okay. Okay, new question. Very different. 1, 1, 3. And I think we still want to test Echo first. Why not? Got a check mark. Is that good or bad? One, 1, 3. It's neutral, of course. So it doesn't like yellow. No, it does like. I wrote the check mark in the wrong place for some reason. It was E I asked, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, it's so illegible. Why are you drawing like this? There we go. Okay, so we know 1, 1, 3 is a yes. So either it's testing that yellow is blue. So it's not testing that it's less than blue. God, these are so huge. Or it's testing... And it's not testing that yellow is equal to purple either. Okay, so it's one of these two. And I think we still want to ask delta. Yes, it likes the parity. So it's testing that something is odd. And that thing has to be purple, right? Yes. So we know then that purple is odd. And I think I'll just continue with, I mean, I don't know. I could continue with my plan and ask purple, Bravo. But I guess, or wasn't my plan actually, it was asked Charlie, of course. Bravo wouldn't tell me anything. I know I would get a yes because all my numbers, all these criteria are satisfied. So is it going to tell me that purple is greater than 1? That would narrow down one possibility, which obviously is the most it can ever rule out. Well, I don't have a unique smallest number, so I can't ask A, and I can't ask B, and I already asked D and E, so if I'm asking anybody, it has to be C. I mean, I think it's probably still useful. I don't think I can solve the puzzle right now, so might as well. And X, okay, fine. So Charlie does not like this, which means it is not testing purple greater than 1. It's actually testing blue greater than 1. Okay. So we solved 2 of them. We could guarantee solving the puzzle in round 3, which is not terrible. But, I mean, could it be telling me that yellow is less than purple? This would be pretty impactful, right? We would know that blue is the smallest. The code would be ascending, right? And I know blue is greater than 1, so it's at least 2. I know purple is odd, so it's 5. This would have to be telling me yellow is less than 4. Because if it can't tell me purple is less than 4, because a code that's strictly ascending and starts with 2 can't end on 3. So doesn't that mean that's impossible? My starting assumption led to a contradiction. If yellow is less than purple, then blue is the smallest. Blue is greater than 1, so it's at least 2. No, this isn't impossible because that would be using all 5 verifiers to arrive at the answer. That's exactly the possible thing. Okay. Could it be telling me, then, that yellow is equal to blue? If yellow were blue, then purple would be the smallest. then I don't think it could be the case that purple is 1. Because if purple were uniquely the smallest via E and A... No. I was thinking I could prove A was redundant, but I had to use A to get there. Well, yellow equal blue. If yellow were blue, purple would be the smallest. Then C would be redundant, right? If yellow equaled blue, then we would know purple is uniquely smallest, and therefore we would know blue is greater than 1. And this verifier wouldn't be telling us anything. Okay, finally figured that out. I was sure that couldn't be... Well, I wasn't sure, but now I am. So it can't be telling me yellow is equal to blue. Actually, this is the opposite of what I thought, right? This is... I thought it might have to tell me this, but actually it's the opposite. It has to tell me that yellow is less than purple. Because if it said... Let me just double check. If it said yellow is equal to blue, then purple would be uniquely smallest. And this wouldn't say anything. Yes, I agree with that. So now we do know the order. We know blue is the smallest one. Oh, I guess I can put some no's on here to remind myself that these are not meaningful. We know blue is the smallest, yes. So the code is in ascending order. So in fact, we can say this as well, right? So there's only one unsolved verifier. It's just, which one is it telling me is less than 4? And we know it can't be purple, because purple is the biggest. And we can't have the code be 1, 2, 3. So this is not correct. Instead, we have this. And these are just enough to work everything out. So blue is the smallest, but it's greater than 1. And yellow is less than 4, so it can't be 4, which means it has to be 3, pinning blue down to 2. And purple being odd makes it 5. So 2, 3, 5. And let's just confirm that this is the only possibility here from all of the clues that I've derived so far. I know the order they're in has blue the smallest, then yellow, then purple. Because yellow is less than purple. Blue's greater than 1, so it has to be at least 2. Yellow's less than 4, so it's at most 3. So to be less, it has to be 2, then 3. And then the parity on purple nails it down. Yeah, there's nothing else you could get with these 5. So I'm ready to go enter that. 2, 3, 5. Test a code. 2, 3, 5. Correct. Finally. The weird thing is, I feel like this video has taken hours, but it's like half the length of the recent Turing Machine, like all the other Turing Machine videos I've done. I don't know what happened. Anyway, 6 questions. So let's just tell the machine how I did. I wish I could just tell it, like, it took me 2 rounds and 6 questions, or you could tell me how many it took. Like, why do I... It asks you to type this stuff in so that it can give you something to tweet, but I'm not tweeting this shit. I'm making a YouTube video, man. I already did all the work. The machine took 9 questions over 3 rounds. Wow, just a terrible result. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, I don't know. I feel reasonably smart, but not like a genius, I guess. Surprised it turned out to tell me that yellow is less than purple, but I guess, like, the point is... Nah, never mind. I'm not going to get into what that point is. I spent forever talking about it last video and still didn't really understand what I was saying. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.